all of a sudden that little tiny bit of the top and the bottom vertical frame, it really relieves a lot of stress and it helps the deliverables. iPhone's new square sensor is literally from the future. For a couple years now, I've been daydreaming of somebody making a square sensor. Some of you guys might not understand the weight of this, so I wanna try to break it down real quick. I would say this is more aimed at the middle class of filmmaking. You know, the people out there shooting for brands and companies, keeping their family fed and a roof over their head through filmmaking. And the reality is the people that we work for and work with and the people that are paying us, they are businesses, and these businesses are creating and generating sales through vertical content now. So that means for all of us filmmakers, that vertical content is just as important, if not even more important now than horizontal content, sadly. Now, what the hell does this have to do with Apple's new Square sensor? Well, this all has to do with OpenGate. OpenGate has become like the thing that everybody's screaming about, whether they're for it or they think people who are for it are just being silly. Now, OpenGate doesn't purely just mean a square sensor. OpenGate means you're filming with the full physical sensor. So a lot of these modern day mirrorless cameras, they're using 3x2 sensors. But when you switch them into video mode, they crop off the top and the bottom and they just give you a 16:9 readout. Rectangle format has become the standard from all of our TVs and media online and everything. But now vertical content, you know, that's 9:16. It's just flipping it onto its side. It's now becoming the breadwinner. So any company that has OpenGate, it makes all of the people that want to utilize OpenGate, it makes our lives easier. Now, before we get too far ahead, again, let's rewind real quick. As I said before, all of these mirrorless cameras and video cameras and all these, you know, $1,000 plus cameras, majority of them are using 3x2 sensors, but then they crop off the top and the bottom like we just went over. Now there's a few companies that are actually utilizing the full sensor, the full 3x2 sensor. I'll zoom out real quick. I'm filming on the Lumix S1R2. This is the Lumix S1 II. I have the Lumix S9, some of the Fujifilm cameras, some of the Blackmagic cameras. Those are really the only companies utilizing OpenGate in a mirrorless camera. Now you'll have some Debbie Downers or people making up excuses because their camera brand doesn't do 3x2 and they think they don't need it. Here's the issue. So say if you're getting the most epic, beautiful shot and it's framed up for 3x2. Again, later in the video, I'll explain why all this is even more important when it comes to clients. Again, so you're framing up a shot and it's perfectly framed by 3x2. But then your client comes up and says, oh, make sure you're getting for vertical too. You have two options, okay? One, you can get your shot and frame it up for horizontal, and then you can reset your talent, reset lighting, reset conditions, reset everything, put your camera vertically, and then film it again. That is a fucking nightmare, especially when you're on set or you're working with the client. You're literally doubling the time it takes to film that. The other option is you can just film it and then crop it in post. But the issue is that you have your shot framed up beautifully for that 16:9 image. And then you go and crop into it on social media. I don't know if you guys know this, but Instagram even crops in a tiny bit more into your vertical post. It crops off a little bit of the sides annoyingly. Once you do that, you're cropping in so tight into your frame. Now, let's mix in a 3x2 OpenGate sensor. Now I could keep that beautiful 16:9 frame that I have, knowing in post, when I have to do the vertical, I could simply utilize the top and the bottom of the image that the 16:9 sensor couldn't see. All of a sudden, that little tiny bit of the top and the bottom vertical frame, it really relieves a lot of stress and it helps the deliverables. So yes, on a 16:9 sensor, you can simply just crop into it and get your vertical post. But if you have a camera that's capable of doing OpenGate, you have to make less compromises and you can use more of the sensor. Now let's wrap this all together with the new iPhone 17 Pro. The new front-facing camera now has a square, larger sensor. This is what's so important about this. You can hold the phone vertically. Say you're taking a selfie and you're just gonna post it to your stories. That's cool, you can do vertical. But say, oh, I want it horizontal because there's more people in frame now, or I'm gonna use this in a YouTube video, I'm gonna send this to a client or blah, blah, blah. With the new iPhone, you can just keep it vertically and you can access that full square sensor and you could get a horizontal shot or a vertical shot out of it now. And you don't have to worry about compromising your eye lines or your framing or any of that. This is what's so freaking amazing about a square sensor. This is combining what we all know in the film industry as 3x2 open gates. This is now growing that sensor even taller, so we get our full vertical crop and our full horizontal crop, and it can just shoot the whole square sensor now. So now imagine if we had a full frame sensor that was a 3x3 sensor, not a cropped in, it's full frame on the width, and now it's officially full frame on the vertical. And the camera was able just to record that full square image. You could do so many freaking different crops out of that. That would be so amazing. I think this needs to be, you know, everybody's talking about medium format. I'm excited for medium format, cinema cameras like the Fujifilm Eterna and all that, and that will do full sensor readout, blah, blah, blah. I would be more excited, and I think this would be more innovative if we took full frame sensors and expanded the vertical height of them. Then we could get our horizontal shots and our vertical shots without having to compromise anything. This truly would be stunning to be able to have. So Apple is innovating, and Apple is proving that open gate, this is what we're fucking looking at right now. This is open gate on a front-facing selfie camera on the new iPhone 17. If Apple thinks people need this, then what are these other companies trying to tell us? This is why I think the new iPhone 17 Pro with the new larger square front-facing camera sensor is going to be groundbreaking.